All right, next up, we've got Kansas and Illinois. Kansas Jayhawks, 5.5-point road favorites this game in Champaign, Illinois. 55.5 being the total here in this game. It seems like every year, whether it's college football or college basketball, they put Kansas and Illinois together head-to-head in a game, and it looks like they are doing that again here. Of course, these teams met last year in Lawrence, Kansas, in non-conference action. And last year it was a 34-23 victory for Kansas in that game. We'll see how they fare here in this one. Very important to point out when it comes to Kansas here going into this game that I just want to clarify whether I think Jalen Daniels was still healthy at that time when they played Illinois last year. Yes, he was. So Jalen Daniels did play for Kansas last year against Illinois. So that's important to point that out. 34-23, they won by 11 in that game. Now they're 5.5-point road favorites here in the rematch. Like I say, a healthy Daniels to go with Devin Neal at running back, to go with Arnold and Grimm and Skinner, the three receivers that they've got. Kansas, like I say, they've got a great allotment of skill position weapons. Obviously, in their first game, they dismantled Lindenwood 48-3 in that game, but not the greatest FCS team. Illinois took down EIU, Eastern Illinois, 45-0. We'll see how they fare on the road here in this game. To be honest with you, or actually at home, I should say, here in this one, as at home, they haven't been great. Champaign's not been a great home field for them. Look at last year. 3-point favorites, Nebraska lose outright by 13. 5-point favorites against Indiana. They do win, but only by 3. And that was a bad Indiana team last year. They lose by 4 at home to Wisconsin. They lose outright as favorites against Northwestern late in the season. It's not been a good home field for Illinois. I'll be honest. I think Kansas is not just a little bit the better team, certainly the better offense, and certainly the better core. I'm not a Luke Altmaier guy. I'm not. I've said that before. I know he put up a 45 spot on EIU last week, but not playing Eastern Illinois this week. I don't know. I think the number's just a little bit short. I had this closer to 7 with Kansas here. 5.5, it's Kansas for me if I'm betting it. C-Mac, what do you think?
Yeah, I get it. Yeah, if this was 7, I'd like Illinois a little bit more. Towards the end of last year, they got into these shootouts. The Northwestern, where they lost by 2.
I'll also take Leipold over Bielema, quite honestly. Coaching-wise. Yep.
Yeah. It depends who you like. Yeah, Bielema is just. Yeah, I didn't think it was ever really going to succeed, there at Illinois. It kind of is what it is. That crazy game against Indiana and Altmaier, I have a problem too. They lost at home, Wisconsin by 4. I'd like the touchdown, and I think Kansas is a little bit better, a little bit more talented, obviously with Daniels and Neal, some of the receivers that they got. But is the defense any better? I don't know. Altmaier just hangs over my head, some of these quarterbacks, that can change the game and some of his passes. But I love that touchdown. But even 5.5, I'm very interested in Illinois here at home. I think they keep this game tight.
All right.